We're on part 2 of the slow roasted shoulder of lamb with herb dumplings. We're going to go ahead and start getting things ready for the dumplings. You're going to need a large saucepan with salted water. Now we need 1 cup of flour. We're going to add a tablespoon of wheat germ. You won't interfere with the flavor, but it's there. All right, we're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder into this bowl. This is what we're doing. And for the salt, we're going to need a half a teaspoon. We're going to need 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. If you wonder what we're making the dumplings to the dish that was in the early one. 1½ tablespoons. They want fresh mint. There was none in the store, so I'm going to have to compensate for it and use dry mint. Now, if it's fresh, they want 1½ tablespoons. So if I do 1½ and I have to third it, so that'll be 1 teaspoon we can vouch for. Okay, let's see. I have a half a tablespoon is 1½ teaspoons. 1½ teaspoons divided into thirds will be another third. So if you have dry, it's about 1½ teaspoons of mint to give you an idea. Because I couldn't find half of the ingredients and stuff that I needed for this week, which was really giving me a hard time. All right, now we need 1½ tablespoons of finely chopped parsley. My knife is over here. Oh, that might do it. Do 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 do. Gently. Okay. Yeah, I thought you'd want to do that together. See, we say bowls here, but in Europe, they sit there and say pitchers. All right, take your parsley and put it in to your dry ingredients. And now I'll get another bowl and we'll mix everything else up. Now you're going to need 2 tablespoons of milk and 1 egg. milk out of the refrigerator. So we're going to beat this together thoroughly. This is what they're stating. What? We got that mixed. I'll mix this together and we'll put it all together and get ready. Oh, butter. I can't put it in. I need the butter right now. How much butter do you want in this? Ta-da! 2 tablespoons of lightly salted butter. I don't have that. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way since I know how to make it. Since I can make my own butter, I know a teaspoon is for a pound. There. And I'll add the butter to that. They want you to work this with your hand. Kathy, I know you're going to get him. You just sit there. I'll work around you. All right, they want you to mix this till it's crumbly with your fingers. Just squeeze the butter together until it's all crumbly. It was very hard in the store. I was asking for breakfast radishes. They didn't have that. They didn't have fresh mint. What else was I asking for? And they said, we don't have. He says, we have. I said, no, I said breakfast. I didn't say that. They're just making it difficult. I don't know what next week is going to be like. Well, I should say this week. See, they want it to be crumbly like that. We are making a slow roasted shoulder of lamb with herb dumplings. The first live this morning was about getting the lamb in, and it's in the oven right now. And we're now making the herb dumplings to go with it. Oh, there's some stupid people, I tell you. They just don't give women a break. They have to say something stupid. We have to wait for the salt water to boil for this part. No. We're going to make a soft, slightly sticky dough. So we've got to work all this together. Yeah, I am. I just think they're stupid sometimes to say this. They know this is a cooking channel, and they go and have to say something stupid. Like that's all they can think about. That's the only thing that matters. It's putting people down and asking stupid questions. You expect stupid questions from children, because they do ask a lot of them. I mean, I've been caught in some very And my sons, oh boy, did they ask some questions. And they caught me the most inapt time to ask. But being a mother, I had to answer the questions. My husband prepared me, and I said, really? And he said, oh yeah, they'll do it. Okay, thank you. Hey, it's Allie, 8063. Now what do you want me to do with this now that I've done this part? It's not tacky. You said it was going to be slightly sticky. Mine is far from being sticky. Okay. If you make this and they're sticky, they want you to flour your hands, okay? Now they want this divided into 12s. Okay, maybe I should roll it out. Okay, cut it in half. Okay, cut it in half again, we'll make fourths. And from this, we'll make them into thirds. They actually want you to make 12 dumplings, so I just did my math to make sure they're closer to the same size. Excuse me. Okay. 3, 6, 9, 12, okay. You know you're going to fall apart if I don't do this right. So we're making 12 dumplings. We're making a lamb roast with dumplings, herb dumplings. I figured since I'm up in the morning, and some of you are up in the morning, so I'll go ahead if I'm cooking. This weekend my sons were supposed to cook, then they didn't cook, and then everything went crazy this weekend, so I said, well, now, for those of you that think it's easy rolling these out, they're not. First off, you'll notice you have an arch in your hand here. So when you first start rolling them, not really rolling them, you're sort of flattening them to get the air out of them. And then what you do is you start picking your hand up and you roll in that circle. In the circle of your palm, because you have one here and you have one here. And as you do it, they come out round. Now the only reason I'm telling you this is when my son was doing it, he kept his hands flat and we ended up with meatballs like this. So that's why I'm showing you how to do that. So first I press it to get the air out of it, and then I start rolling and rolling, and I pick my hands up and I start cupping them and separate more and more to where I get a nice firm ball. Because if you don't do it right, they will come apart, and that's what we don't want them to do. I pray they don't come apart. Mine are not sticky, and I use their ratio. Now they're too cracked, press them and roll them again. You've got to get this done right, or they will come apart if they aren't rolled tight. See, they have cracks in them, but not too many. Because if they're airy, they're going to fall apart, and that's not what you want. I'm making herb dumplings to go with a roast shoulder of lamb. Okay. Okay. Oh. All right, we're going to put these in the boiling salted water. Don't drop them in, you'll get burnt. They only want them in there for 15 minutes, so get them all in, and then you can start clocking them. Yeah, I caught myself that one. Caught me good. Okay. They want the lid partially on. And we've got to wait 15 minutes. So that's 15 minutes time to clean my mess up. Oh, on the half hour. So we'll have to cover the dumplings when they're done until we can put them with the lamb and get it set. Ah, shoot a brick. Second time I've done that to that. Now this is everything. Yes, the roast is in the oven cooking. But right now we have to get the dumplings ready because they're going to go with the roast. Now what am I going to serve with this? Some rolls that I made. I can't even remember the name of them. I made them the other day. And I will definitely serve a salad with this. One of my crazy salads. And the only reason I started putting fruit with vegetables in my green salads was because my husband was from Barbados. They used a lot of fruit. Texas, we used a lot of vegetables with our greens, so we ended up just, doing it together. And he sat there and said, why not this? And then I went from fresh fruit, dried fruit, nuts, and just, like they say, everything but the kitchen sink was going into them. And they were good, every salad we made. We serve roast with roast potatoes, roast parsnips, and steamed vegetables. Yeah, well, didn't have enough room for everything, and I was on a budget. And because I'm on a budget, one of the easiest ways is you're going to buy fruit to snack on, right? I was always taught that. I have dried fruit in the house because I dehydrate a lot of it. So the thing is that salads are cheaper than buying a whole bunch of vegetables that I have to cook. And this is why I serve a lot of salads when I'm on a tight budget. You'll see more salads served with all my meals so I can make it stretch, because I can buy the salad greens and they will last the whole week, whereas vegetables, I got one for one meal, one for another. And the thing is, if you have one root vegetable, I have to have two above it. So when I make the salads, I make sure I have things under the ground, above the ground, through and around and everywhere, and then I cover everything that I have to do. But I can understand what you're saying. Oh, okay, you can do it that way. Oh, now I see why you said leave the lid partially. Okay, well, they said 15 minutes. I actually found out, though people would have a hard time believing this, I actually save money when I actually do my own canning and everything. It really saves me a lot of money. Well, yeah, what? 10 more minutes? So I have 10 minutes. You got me for 10 minutes while we're waiting for the dumplings. Thank you. These dumplings, the only thing I added to them was 1 tablespoon of wheat germ because I want to make sure that I cover for the B vitamins. Though I do have cracked wheat in the rolls over there that are defrosting because I stick my rolls once they cool into the freezer and pack them so I can just move in and out. You have to be frugal. A lot of people say you are not frugal when you're cooking. Yes, I am. I really am. I try to make everything count. That's why I take the peelings of my vegetables, stick them in bags, and I cook them down for vegetable stock. I collect all the bones that I get. I don't care what kind of bones it is. The only thing is if it's the shell of the shrimp or lobster or the bones of a fish, I'll make a fish stock out of that. And if you have heads on them and he cuts the heads off, tell them you want the heads because they're going to use them. So you can use them and you can make your own fish stock, and then the bones, you can make your own bone broth. All what you need is a pressure cooker for that. I would definitely recommend that for the bones because you couldn't possibly boil the bones long enough. Some bones I've gotten have been so big that it's taken me 2 days to cook them till I can stab them and break them. And we're talking about the big bones on those cows that are like huge. So that's why I do it. And if you don't have a slow cooker, you can throw your vegetable peelings into a pot with water and boil them for about an hour or two. And sit there. If the water dehydrates, just add a little more and keep it going. And then what you can do is you just sit there and strain them. I like to put them through a strainer with a towel. And then what I do is when I'm done straining them, I'll sit there and tie that towel up and squeeze the rest of the juice out of them, all those nutrients. Stick it in a canning jar and stick it in the refrigerator if you're not canning. If you're canning, it goes very, very fast. And you always have them on hand. Now, the bone broth I would can because I don't think anybody could sit there and have a big jar of that and finish that up because it's very concentrated in minerals, which will keep your bones and your teeth strong. Remember, you can look at your teeth and they'll tell you how your bone structure is. As you get older, and if you notice your teeth are breaking down or falling out and you're ending up with more cavities and stuff, you can imagine what it's doing with your hips and all. That's how you know. Your teeth are your telltale signs. Like if you want to know how good is your digestive system, that's in your mouth. I mean your breath, your urine, and your bowels. They will tell you. If people wake up and they have bad breath, that's you've got food sitting in your system that's rotting in there. Like women, one woman said, your belly, you don't have a big belly as old as you are. I did not want to tell her why my belly was the way it was because I didn't want to insult her at the time. But if you notice as you get older and older and you can't seem to lose weight and your belly's getting bigger and you're not eating that much. Algeria, hi. Well, we had a turkey this year with 2 stuffings. We had cranberry sauce. Oh, I made a pecan pie with so much bourbon in it. Oh my God, with a cream, no, was it cream? Yeah, with a cream cheese crust. It was so good. That pie only lasted 2 days. We demolished it. It was so good. We had candied yams. I had leftover candied yams, so I made nutty candy yam muffins. I wonder if I could, I'm thinking, now you're making me think. I am from America, in New York State, but that's not where I'm originally from. I'm originally from Texas. I grew up in Texas. Okay, we got 6 minutes. So that's what we had. That pie, I'll never forget that pie. I think I'm going to make that again. That was too good to pass up. I'm not kidding. It really was. Knitting for me? I know how to knit. I'm not a great knitter. I can knit. I can crochet. I can embroider. I'm not the greatest. Be prepared about that. I can do, what is it? Tapestry? Tapestry is like a lot of half cross stitch of embroidery. So if I do some knitting, I will definitely, right now I'm making a bedspread. I'm getting the pattern down, and somebody already asked me for the pattern. I'm thinking about, the thing is when you make it public, people can take things from you and claim it as theirs. So this is a little bit on the difficult side of it, and but I will show the woman who wants to know how to make the motif that I'm making for a bedspread. I will do it. Just remember, I am not the greatest knitter. I also know how to sew, but I learned a lot of them. What I want to learn is Armenian lace, better known as knotted lace. I got some books on it, and I said, I want to learn to do this. No, don't know Sheldon Cooper. And I don't believe in the Big Bang, so I'm not there. Remember, when I grew up, we have different, let's say we're more in our faith than the young people of today. No, you didn't come out a bad time. We're just waiting for these to finish up. We got 4 minutes to go. We got dumplings on. That's what we're waiting for now. So if I will share the motif and some of this work that I do. Doing the knotted lace, or if you wish to call it Armenian knotted lace, Armenian lace. I'm not good at it, so if you saw that, you'd see a mess, because I have to learn that first. But I will, if I make something knitted, I will show it. I will show the crochet that I'm doing. Okay, we're almost ready. Where do they want me to put this? In the roast? The roast isn't done yet. Okay. They want us to transfer it to a plate until knead these dumplings. So I'll clean the plate that I had them on. And then we'll finish waiting for the roast, which is still going to be another hour or under an hour. So there'll be a part 3, sorry. Maybe about what? I'll check it about 9:15 and see how it is before we get this whole thing together. I have 2 cats. One's on the floor right here. The other one's in bed sleeping. There's one of them. That's my little Taffy. He's the runt of the litter. Time now is 8:28. Okay. 2 minutes. We're getting there, slowly. Yes, they wanted to see you, but your brother's asleep upstairs. I'm sorry, we have to wait. So, we'll need a slotted spoon for this. We're waiting. I'm sorry. We have to wait. There's nothing I can do about this. We have to give them their full time. But they look really nice. I won't lie to you. Matter of fact, I'll let you see them as they come out. Right now we have the lid ajar and they're still cooking. thought about doing cook with me, but I haven't figured out how to do all of that yet. I'm working on it. Taffy, you're going to have to wait. There's nothing more I can do. I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to take the stock from there. They want me to do something, and I'm going to do it a little different this time. I want to be able to use the drippings from here, mixing it with some stock to pour over all of this. Ah, time! They want them to drain, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So having them in the air, they'll be able to dry out more. So take these, when you make it, just put them on the side till the meat is done. They want them to dry. They say put them in a strainer. I'm not putting them in a strainer. I'll never get them out separately. Okay, that's it until about another 30-45 minutes, and then we'll get along with it and move on and put this dish together. But I'm going to use the drippings with it. So anyway, I'll see you in about 45 minutes.